Clemson Tigers are off to a rough start. That's no secret. The Tigers at 2-1 following a narrow escape against Georgia Tech as a 4-touchdown favorite, 14-8. And, of course, the Week 1 loss in which they did not post a touchdown against Georgia, losing 10-3. Subtract two members of the football team that are highly noted here. First of all, defensive tackle Tyler Davis, considered the best run stuffer on this unit, and that's saying a lot as Clemson boasts arguably the best defensive line in the country. But Tyler Davis, defensive tackle, has to have surgery on a torn bicep, and he should be out 7 to 8 weeks. So if everything goes well and he comes back and rehabs properly, then he'll be back for the stretch drive and the ACC championship game if Clemson makes it that far, and that would come with a wink, but they are struggling. All right. Tyler Davis, of course, was one of the top 50 players in the country coming out of high school in 2019, and he is not disappointed. He initially, right out of the gate as a true freshman, had a big season in 2019 in helping lead Clemson to another vintage college football playoff run to the national championship game and dominating the ACC with one of the best statistical defenses in the country. In 2020, he missed a ton of time, disrupted by injuries, COVID issues that went into the 2021 opener against Georgia, and because of that protocol, he missed the game against the Bulldogs. He played 2 games this year, had 7 tackles, but again, no stat line is going to properly diagnose the loss of Tyler Davis. Okay, in his place, we've got Rook or Horo. I hope I pronounced Rook's last name correctly. If I did not, I apologize. 2019 class, 49th rated, strong side defensive end. Not a highly touted player, but he's off to a really good start here, filling in for Tyler Davis and just getting into the rotation anyway. 12 total tackles, 3 tackles for loss already. Trey Williams also cited as a guy that's going to step up, according to Dabo Sweeney's Monday night radio show. Trey Williams was the 11th rated defensive tackle in the country coming out of high school in 2020. He already has 3 tackles and 1 tackle for loss. Okay, speaking of losses, there's another one here that's prominent in regards to name recognition, but he wasn't figuring into the offensive attack at this point, and that's Lyn JDixon. Familiar face, familiar name to Clemson fans. He actually has the 2nd highest yards per carry average in the history of the program to Travis Etienne, of course, at 6.6 yards per carry. But he's been in the doghouse, and those are words that actually were used by Dabo Sweeney throughout this offseason leading into the season. And so Lyn JDixon, as announced on Monday, headed to the transfer portal. He ran for 547 yards and 5 touchdowns in 2018 as a freshman, followed that up with a little bit more action in replacing Etienne garbage time and also just giving him a blow from time to time. 635 rushing, 6 touchdowns, but a lot less work in 2020 with 190 yards on 42 attempts. Will Shipley's obviously emerged the prized freshman. He carried it 21 times for 88 yards against the Yellow Jackets. And also, Kobe Pace was the guy that, coming out of spring practice, was the guy that impressed in the spring game and was said many times to have emerged, even though Lyn JDixon was the listed starter coming out of the spring sessions. He was held out of the first half of the game against Georgia. He's been having run-ins with running backs coach C.J. Spiller, and so for disciplinary reasons, held out of the first half of game 1, came in, ran once, actually had the biggest play, I believe, in the rushing category for Clemson against Georgia. He got a carry, got out to the outside by himself, broke contain, and carried it for 10 yards. But that was his 1 carry against Georgia. Had 4 carries the next week and just hadn't been playing much at all. So a couple running backs could figure into it. The red shirt on Phil Maffa could come off. That's possible. Michael Dukes as well. Darian Rencher, a couple of guys that Dabo Sweeney had mentioned. They could factor in a lot more with Lyn JDixon out of the way. This is a player that's obviously, despite succeeding, despite being a dependable, capable backup, playing in big games, being in the program for a long time. You wonder what happened. Maybe he didn't like competition at running back. I'm just conjecturing there that he thought it should be his job automatically, and when that wasn't necessarily the case, maybe things soured a bit from there, because Dabo Swinney, most recently after the South Carolina State game, said that Lyn JDixon needed to grow up and be more of a team player. Well, he's no longer a team player for the Clemson Tigers. He'll move on somewhere through the transfer portal. Your thoughts about Tyler Davis? Big loss, Lyn JDixon. Big component in the offense in the past, but not so much here in 2021 as Clemson struggles and goes to Raleigh to take on NC State coming up this Saturday. Right here at the Voice of College Football. Please like the video, share the videos out on social media, and subscribe right here on our Clemson channel, and we will talk to you soon.